Have you ever thought about how you speak or what happens in your body when you're speaking? Today, in Ace the English Hub, we are going to see the organs in your body that are associated with the production of speech. Remember that there are three central mechanisms responsible for the production of speech. They are respiration, phonation, and articulation. Let's see them one by one. First is respiration. This respiratory system is used in normal breathing as well as in producing sound. The organs associated with this system are the lungs, the muscles of the chest, and the windpipe or the trachea. At the foremost, for producing sounds, there has to be some form of energy. In speech, the energy takes the shape of the form of air coming from the lungs. Lung air is referred to as pulmonic air. During normal breathing, inhalation and exhalation happen every 2 or 3 seconds. When we speak, we breathe in quickly but lets the air out very slowly. Remember those unplugged version songs of your favorite artists where you can actually hear them take a deep breath before singing a line? That's them taking in the air very quickly and then letting out the air really slowly. The normal pattern of breathing changes to enable us to speak. In speaking, inhalation is short and exhalation has a longer period. The walls of the lungs contract by the action of the muscles and air is pushed out from the lungs. This air is made use of in producing speech sounds. The function of the windpipe and the lungs is to provide the airstream required for the articulation of speech sounds. In different languages, the air needed for speech production is initiated by different organs. Refer to this video which speaks about the various airstream mechanisms that humans use. A link is provided in the description box. When studying English, remember that we make use of a pulmonic aggressive airstream mechanism to produce sounds. Pulmonic because the lung is the initiator and aggressive because the sounds are produced by air passing out of our lungs or exhalation. Now above the windpipe we see the larynx, commonly called Adam's apple. Air from the lungs passes through the larynx and here is where changes begin to take place in the exhalation of air. In the larynx is a lip-like structure called vocal cords or vocal folds placed horizontally from front to back. Let's look at how these vocal cords actually look. They are attached on one side and can move close together or wide apart. Depending upon the types of sounds produced, the movement of the vocal cords change. The space between the vocal cords is called the glottis. When the vocal cords are held close together, the space between the glottis decreases, the vocal cords vibrate, and we produce voiced sounds. When the vocal cords move wide apart, the space between the glottis increases and we produce breathed sounds or voiceless sounds. Remember that in English, all vowel sounds are voiced and so are the majority of the consonants. The fact to remember is that it is the vocal cords that give us our voice. And this part, called the arytenoid cartilage, gives each one of us our unique voice. The reason why Shreya Ghoshal can sing and I or maybe even you cannot sing is because of the difference in the length of the arytenoid cartilage. Now, let us see what these vocal cords look like when we sing. This is an awesome video created by Chuck Gilmore. Thank you, Chuck, for letting us use your video. I'll play one part of it. Please watch the entire video. The link is given here and in the description.
Vocal cords open when we breathe and come together when we make noise with our voices and are covered up when we swallow. A type of lid called the epiglottis closes over the vocal cords when we swallow. Sometimes fluid gets through and we cough to clear it out. When air passes through our vocal cords as we speak or sing, they create a series of sound waves, which we can hear. This series of sound waves we call vibration. The vocal cords create the initial vibrations, which is the initial tones we hear that begin the sound we make when speaking and singing. Now watch and listen as these vocal cords create the vibrations that become our voices.
Now we are moving up the larynx. There is a leaf-shaped flap in the throat behind the tongue and at the front of the larynx. It is called the epiglottis. It shuts off the entrance to the larynx when we swallow food. Further moving up the larynx, we reach our articulatory system. We find the pharynx. If you look in the mirror with your mouth wide open, you can see the back of the pharynx. The pharynx is a place where the food we eat and the air we breathe separate into two ways, the esophagus and the windpipe. Coming to the mouth, we have our lips, teeth and tongue as the major parts. I want you to try moving your tongue and touch the part immediately behind your upper teeth. What do you feel? You can feel a hard convex serrated part. That is called the alveolar ridge or alveolum. Now again move your tongue a little back and you can feel a hard concave area behind the teeth ridge. This part is called the hard palate. Twist your tongue again to the back. That soft and fleshy part your tongue touched is the soft palate or velum. Now stand in front of a mirror and open your mouth wide. The fleshy finger-like structure at the extreme end of the soft palate, that thing that we thought had no purpose, is called the uvula. The uvula can excrete a lot of saliva rapidly. Its primary function as an accessory to speech is to provide adequate lubrication inside the mouth. The uvula is essential to articulate a number of consonant sounds called the uvular consonants, especially in languages like Arabic, French and Hebrew. Find more about uvula sounds from this YouTube link. The roof of the mouth is done and now we move to our tongue. Though there are no physical divisions in our tongue, for the purpose of description, it can be divided into the tip, blade, front, back and root. The position of the lips also plays an important part in the production of sound. There are passive and active articulators. Those organs in the articulatory system that move actively during speech are called active articulators. They are the lower lip and the tongue. The organs like the upper lip, teeth and the roof of the mouth are passive and hence called passive articulators. Let's see how speech production works. We breathe in air. It reaches lungs. From there, it is slowly pushed out. Air reaches the larynx. Depending upon the sound produced, the vocal cords in the larynx will either be held tight together and vibrating or held loosely together. Now the air decides again which path to take to move out, your mouth or your nose. When your soft palate is raised, the passage to the nose is blocked and air escapes through your mouth. Such sounds are called oral sounds. When the soft palate is lowered, the passage to the mouth is blocked and air escapes through your nose. Hence, those sounds are nasal sounds. This is how the great action of producing sounds happen in our body. Do subscribe if you liked our video. Also, write to us if you need help with your English course. See you again next week with another bite-sized lesson. Thank you.